Welcome to Alan Berry Reports TV. I'm your host, Alan Berry Laboucan from AlanBerryReports.com. Today we have a new installment of our In the News show. This is the program where we talk about resource companies with recent developments and also delve into what's happening with commodities. On today's show we have two companies to talk about. Both those companies are involved with gold, and they've had some recent news out that we wanted to talk about today. We'll open this show talking about some one of the big picture sort of trends that we're seeing with in the resource sector with the resource stocks. And but before getting started with that, we always like to start out with some thank you messages to those that are important in us being able to do this show. First of all, we use YouTube.com as our primary website to produce and broadcast these shows. They have a great website for anybody that's interested in doing online shows, and we highly recommend them. Also, if you're watching the show on our website at AlanBerryReports.com, you'll notice to the left and right of me that we have banners. Those banner sponsors are really important in us being able to bring these shows to you. If you'd like to do some homework on those companies, the banners are directly linked to those companies' websites, and so those websites are full of information on their projects, the people involved, their news, and it's a great place for you to start your research on those companies. And of course, to you, the viewers, you give us an audience to talk to about commodities and resource stocks, and we really appreciate you tuning in. So thank you very much. As I said, we're going to start as we've been sort of doing for several shows now. We start with our opening commentary, and today there's been some big news in the mining sector in the last couple days with the takeover offer from Barrick Gold for Equinox Minerals. And what's somewhat surprising about this is that that Barrick Gold is making a move for a copper producer. Barrick Gold prides itself on being a gold producer. One of the key reasons for that is that gold producers tend to get a better valuation for what they have compared to base metal producers, but nonetheless, Barrick is wanting to have more exposure to copper production, obviously, and what that really shows is that Barrick sees that the long-term potential for profit in producing copper is very good. There's soft supply. We've talked a lot about that in the past. Copper is not the only commodity with soft supply and strong demand, but it definitely has those characteristics, and that's a recipe for higher prices for that commodity. And Barrick obviously feels that higher prices are here for the long term, and there's good profit margins in copper at current prices, and if you believe like we do that prices are going even higher, that's only going to improve the profit margins. And so obviously Barrick wants to get some of that into their earnings mix. And it's one of the things that we've seen over the years is that generally, as I mentioned, gold producers or gold explorers tend to get a better valuation for the assets that they have. And it's a little bit surprising to me, because at the end of the day, if you earn $1 from producing gold, or you earn $1 from producing copper, you've earned $1. So why one gets a better premium, I think, has a lot more to do with emotional reasons than realistic economic reasons. But that is the reality. I think that that Barrick definitely wanted to highlight that this is not going to affect their overall involvement in gold, this is a somewhat of an enhancement to their bottom line. Barrick has mines all over the world, but the fact that they're willing to take a risk by being in countries like Zambia is pretty an important point. We avoid countries like Zambia. This is all it has in the past and will in the future cause us to miss opportunities like an Equinox, but we stick to our knitting, and our knitting has always been to look for companies with projects in mining-friendly jurisdictions. And as I said, it's going to make us miss some opportunities. And Equinox was right in front of my nose because a couple years ago, I shared a TV interview with executives of the company. So I knew about it, but we avoided it because of it being in Zambia. And even though we're going to miss some opportunities, we're not going to change our game plan of looking for companies with projects in mining-friendly jurisdictions. I would guess that Barrick would have preferred to take over a gold mining company, but they're hard to find. So are copper companies, for that matter. And this goes to show, goes back to an issue we talk a lot about, that there is a shrinking pool of resource companies with high quality projects that have the potential of being future mines. This is very bullish for commodities and for resource stocks with high quality projects. With majors on the takeover prowl and more investors looking to have exposure to resource stocks and commodities, but they're both the miners and the investors are chasing a smaller group of companies, and that scenario should propel resource stocks with resource companies with high quality projects much higher. This is one of the key reasons that we believe resource stocks are a better place to look for above average performance than in the commodities that they're either mining or exploring for. All right, so that's a wrap on our opening commentary. We're going to now talk about as I said, we have two companies to talk about today. The first company is Osisko Mining Corp. On the disclosure, we're not shareholders of the company. Our past coverage includes they are a featured company in the Allen Berry Reports email newsletter. We started coverage of them on December the 18th, 2008, which was our 21st edition. And the first time we had them on one of our shows was on the April 15th, 2010 show. If you're interested in finding that report and that show, if you look above me on our website, you'll notice that there's a report section. In there we have all the past reports, including that 21st edition, and you can either read it online or download it in a Word file to read at later. And also above me you'll see a shows section. In there we have a directory with all the past shows, including the dates, and the companies that were talked about, the key topics, and a link to where you can go watch those shows. And so you can find that April 15th, 2010 show on there. Osisko's website is osisko.com. I'm just pulling their website up now, and on their website they have a press archive section, and since we last talked about them on our February 10th, 2011 show, they've had a few news releases that we want to talk about today. I'm just going to get to that section. I got the press archives up here. The first one we're looking for is the February 24th press release, and on that one, the headline is Osisko reports 125 meters averaging 0.73 grams per ton gold in southeast extension at Hammond Reef. They go on that they are pleased to announce initial results from the fall 2010 drilling program at the Hammond Reef project located near Atikokan in Western Ontario. The Hammond Reef project is 100% owned by a wholly owned subsidiary of Osisko. The fall 2010 program included 324 holes for approximately 119,000 meters. They reported a total of 41 new holes, and there is a table in that press release that has all the various different intersections, including the highlighted hole that they talked about. Again, you can find that on their press release. And in addition to that, they give you some good details about the exploration focus on that Hammond Reef project and some key information there. And again, you can find that in the press release on their website. So now I'm going to move to the second press release we wanted to talk about, which was their March 31st, 2011 press release. In that one, the headline is Osisko increases gold reserve at Canadian Malartic to 10.7 million ounces, which is total reserves up 19%. They go on that Osisko pleased to announce or to provide an updated reserve and resource estimate for their 100% owned Canadian Malartic project. They mentioned that this new estimate is using a price of US $1,000 per ounce of gold, combines the previously reported $825 reserves and resources of the Canadian Malartic and South Barnat deposits, which were previously announced in February 10th, 2010 press release, with new resources defined from the ongoing drill program, including the Barnat extension and the Gouldy zones. Some of the highlights is their open pit proven and probable reserves have increased to 10.7 million ounces. That's a 19.3% increase. Global measured and indicated resources above a cutoff grade of 0.30 grams per ton gold have increased to 11.8 million ounces of gold, or a 5.4% increase. The global inferred resource above a cutoff grade of 0.30 grams per ton gold have increased to 850,000 ounces. So as you can see, most of their resources in the measured and indicated categories, not the inferred. Then they have some more highlights, and they give you a bunch of details about the upgrade to the increases to their resources. And again, you can find that in the press release. Then the final press release we wanted to talk about today was their recent one that was on April the 13th, and just a couple weeks ago. And what they announced in that one is, the headline is Osisko pours first gold at Canadian Malartic mine. They announced that they poured their first gold bar at the flagship Canadian Malartic mine. They go on that there's a quote from Mr. Sean Roosen, who's the president and CEO of Osisko, and he commented on this major milestone and said, and I quote, "We are extremely pleased to achieve our first gold production at Canadian Malartic. After only 6 years from drilling our first hole on the property, commissioning has gone very smoothly, and we are well on track to achieve commercial production by the end of May 2011. This achievement is a direct result of the outstanding efforts from Osisko's management team and employees, our contractors, suppliers, the residents of Malartic, and officials from the government of Quebec. We also express our gratitude to our shareholders, bankers, and lenders who have supported our vision of building a world-class gold mining operation." End quote. So that is the key information from the press releases we wanted to talk about. Some of the reasons that we like Osisko is we've been following Osisko for a very long time now, and over the last few years it's been a really successful pick for us. What is kind of exciting, I've been in this business for nearly 20 years, and it's always exciting to watch a junior exploration company that makes an impressive discovery and then turns that discovery into a mine. In fact, some of the well-known major mining companies that we are household names in the sector started out in this with doing this kind of following this kind of a route. And Osisko is now starting to pour some gold. They're heading towards commercial production. It's a very impressive milestone. This takes a very strong team on the ground and in the management offices of the company, and they've done a wonderful job. Congratulations to the team at Osisko. We think that as we go forward now, that they will become it's an awfully also a very fortuitous time to start becoming a gold producer, with gold now over $1,500 per ounce. I think I've said it before that if you had mentioned 6 or 7 years ago to the folks at Osisko that they would have a multi-million ounce gold deposit that they'd put into production within 6 or 7 years, and that they would be doing that with gold at $1,500 an ounce, they may have given you a sideways look, but that's what has happened. And as I said, this is a very important milestone, and congratulations to all that are involved with this company. So that's a wrap on our chat regarding Osisko. The second company we're going to talk about today is Gold Canyon Resources. And on the disclosure, we're not shareholders of the company. Our past coverage, we've talked about them on several of our past shows. The first show we started coverage of them was on our November 3rd, 2010 show. Again, if you're watching on our website at allenberryreports.com, just look above me at the shows section, and in there you can find all of our past shows with the dates, the companies that were talked about, key topics, and a link to go to find those shows, and that's where you'll find that November 3rd, 2010 show. Their website is goldcanyon.ca. That's goldcanyon.ca. As I mentioned, this is a company that we talked about on several of our past shows. The most recent coverage was on our March 16th, 2011 show. And since then, they've had a few press releases out that we want to talk about today. So I'm just pulling up their website now. And the first press release I'm going to look for is the April 20th, 2011 press release. In that one, the headline is Gold Canyon announces $10 million bought deal private placement. In that, they give you all the details about the private placement. Basically, what this does is it fills up their treasury so they can fund their work that they want to do. That's a good chunk of cash, so they'll be able to be very aggressive with their exploration efforts. And the next press release we wanted to talk about is their April the 14th press release. In that one, the headline is... pulling it up here. On that one, the headline is Springpole Gold Project produces long gold and silver intercepts for Gold Canyon. They go on that they announced assay results from 5 new holes from their winter 2011 diamond drill program on their 100% controlled Springpole Gold Project in the Red Lake Mining Camp region. Results include 132 meters at 1.37 grams per ton gold in hole SP11-049, a vertical infill hole testing the southeast part of the portage zone. Silver assays have returned for 12 holes, whose gold assays were previously announced in press releases in February and March 2011. These assays confirm that gold mineralization is accompanied by appreciable silver at Springpole. There's comments from Quinton Hina, who is the technical advisor to and director of Gold Canyon, who commented, and I quote, The winter 2011 diamond drill program came to a close on April the 8th. We are very pleased to have accomplished nearly 8,500 meters of drilling in 33 holes this winter, just under our planned 9,000 meters of drilling. Overall, 18,909 meters and 61 drill holes have been drilled in the first 3 phases of a planned 20,000 meter program. Our first deep drill test of the portage zone has now commenced as we have completed our drilling on the ice. We expect this hole to be completed in mid-May. End quote. Then he has some more comments in there. There's a table with all the various different drill holes and some details summarizing the exploration efforts and what they're focusing on. Again, that can all be found in their press release on their website. And then the final press release we wanted to talk about is on the one on March the 29th. In that one, the headline is Springpole Gold Project continues to produce long gold intercepts for Gold Canyon, including 150 meters at 2.56 grams per ton gold. They go on that they, in that press release, they had announced 6 new holes from their winter 2011 diamond drill program at their Springpole 100% owned Springpole Gold Project. They give you some details about the highlighted holes. They've been very consistently hitting thick intersections of promising grades in their near surface discovery at Springpole. It's quite an impressive looking project, and we've been happy to be following them for several months now. And with the they definitely are consistent with what they hit with their drilling at Springpole. Then in the press release, they also have some more details about the exploration, and again, you can find that on the company's website. And so that's a wrap on our chat regarding their news. Some of the reasons that we like the company is that we like these open pit type targets. Some of the characteristics of that is that they're generally low grade but very high tonnage, and when found at surface, because you can benefit from the economies of scale of being able to process large tonnage on a daily basis, that's what makes open pit mines profitable and very lucrative. And in fact, most of the mines in the world are in that category. And so Gold Canyon is doing the work to assess whether if they have a project with a potential to be a mine. Based on the drill results so far, it definitely looks like they're going in that direction. As they mentioned in their press release, they're also well funded, so they can aggressively work and drill their project to bring it forward and get an idea of how many ounces of gold they have there, and then start to do some of the economic evaluation. But in a very short period of time, where they've gone from discovery to having a lot of news out about drill holes with thick intersections of promising grades. And as long as that trend continues, it definitely looks like they've got a quite an impressive discovery at their Springpole project. So that's a wrap on our chat regarding Gold Canyon. And a wrap on our in the news part of the show. Before closing, we'd like to stress that this show and our reports are for information purposes only. We aren't making buying or selling recommendations. It's important for you to do your own research and speak with your financial advisors before making any investment decisions. We're always trying to grow our audience, and any efforts you can make to help us get the word out about our reports, our website, and our shows would be greatly appreciated. We also really appreciate you taking the time to watch these shows. We know that everybody is very busy these days, and we strive to produce a show that saves you time and brings you helpful, high-quality information. We'll be doing another In the News show, hopefully this week, maybe tomorrow. If you'd like to keep up on all of our work and when we're putting it out, the best way is to be a subscriber to our email list. There's no charge to be on the email. Just look above me on the website at the subscribe section, in there. You just fill out the information. We'll add you to our email, and that's the best way to keep track of the work that we're doing. We hope you can join us for our next show. You can find all of our work on our website at allenberryreports.com. We'll see you soon, and have a great day.